Welcome to the Light Inside Me channel. In today's video, we're continuing our self-development series from previous episodes. If you're new here, or you missed the last one, don't worry, you can find all the episodes in the playlist that pops up at the end of this video. These lessons aren't just educational content. They're a full spectrum, daily approach to living with clarity, purpose, and resilience. So don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss any future episodes. And if you're enjoying this series, show some love by liking the video and dropping a keep it up in the comments below. Today, we're not just talking about some dusty old philosophy. We're diving into Stoicism as a practical tool, a mental framework for dealing with the real challenges of modern life. You'll learn how to shift your mindset around money, find deeper meaning in your everyday routines, and train your mind to focus on what truly matters. We'll ask questions like, can money really buy happiness? How do we find joy in the process, not just the outcome? And what can we learn from the timeless wisdom of those who came before us? As Seneca said, luck is what happens when preparation meets opportunity. So if you're ready to declutter your mind, simplify your life, and unlock the power of Stoic wisdom, smash that like button. Hit subscribe, and let's take the next step together. And remember what Marcus Aurelius taught. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. Lesson 1. A morning ritual, your daily dose of awesome. Let's talk about mornings. Not the chaotic, groggy, caffeine-fueled rush to get out the door. We're talking about a deliberate, mindful, and intentional morning ritual, one that sets the tone for a calm, focused, and powerful day. The snooze button trap. Let's be real. Most of us hit the snooze button more times than we care to admit. We wake up tired, already behind, scrambling through a rushed routine, maybe grabbing a quick bite if we're lucky before racing out the door. But what if your morning could be something different? What if it became your anchor, a daily practice that nourishes your mind, body, and spirit before the world even wakes up? The philosopher's approach. The ancient philosophers understood this. Aristotle, for example, believed that the first few hours of the day were crucial for shaping your mindset and direction. He encouraged mornings filled with exercise, contemplation, and study. So how do we apply that same wisdom to our busy, modern lives? 5 elements of a mindful morning. Rise and shine mindfully. Instead of hitting snooze, try waking up at the same time every day, even weekends. This trains your body's natural rhythm and brings more stability to your mind. When you rise, take a few deep breaths, stretch, and set an intention for your day. Hydrate and nourish. Start your morning with a glass of water to rehydrate after sleep. Then eat a clean, energizing breakfast. Think protein, healthy fats, and complex carbs. Avoid sugary cereals and pastries that spike and crash your energy. Move your body. You don't need to hit the gym, just move. Go for a walk, do some yoga, or stretch. Even 5 to 10 minutes of movement can boost your mood, circulation, and clarity. Feed your mind. Spend a little time reading, journaling, or meditating. This creates mental space and sets the tone for a thoughtful, centered day. When you arise in the morning, think of what a precious privilege it is to be alive, to breathe, to think, to enjoy, to love. Marcus Aurelius. Plan your day. Look over your schedule. Prioritize what matters. Set 1 to 3 clear goals so you can move through the day with purpose, not overwhelm. Real-world examples. The CEO's morning meditation. Many successful CEOs begin their day with meditation to reduce stress and focus their attention on what's truly important. The artist's morning pages. Writers and creatives often do free writing first thing in the morning to clear their mental clutter and ignite creativity. The athlete's morning routine. Many athletes begin their day with training. It builds discipline and primes their mind for high performance. The bottom line. A meaningful morning ritual isn't about adding more to your already busy schedule. It's about creating sacred space, a time to reset, reflect, and reconnect before the noise of the world begins. It's not about perfection, it's about presence. Because as the saying goes, win the morning, win the day. So take the time, experiment, and build a ritual that works for you. Lesson 2. The day in review, your daily mental detox. Let's talk about something simple and powerful and often overlooked, reflecting on your day. No, we're not talking about overanalyzing every moment or beating yourself up for mistakes. We're talking about a calm, thoughtful review, a moment to pause, learn, and realign. The hamster wheel of life. Modern life moves fast. We wake up, rush through our routines, work, eat. Maybe squeeze in a workout or a few minutes of downtime, then crash into bed, only to do it all again the next day. But what if we could break that cycle? What if we could use the end of each day not just to rest, but to reset, to reflect, learn, and grow the Stoic way? Ancient Stoics like Seneca and Marcus Aurelius were champions of daily reflection. They believed that examining your actions, thoughts, and emotions is essential for cultivating wisdom and living a virtuous life. As Seneca put it, the unexamined life is not worth living. So how do we examine our lives in a way that's practical and meaningful? A simple daily review framework. The highlights reel. Start by recalling the bright spots in your day. What went well? What made you smile? What are you grateful for? This cultivates positivity and reinforces what's working. The learning curve. Next, reflect on the struggles and setbacks. What did you learn? What challenged you? Remember, mistakes aren't failures, they're feedback. Our greatest glory is not in never falling, but in rising every time we fall. Confucius. The course correction. Now, consider what you can improve. What's one small shift you could make tomorrow? A habit to tweak, a mindset to adjust. Growth happens through small, consistent steps. Real-world reflections. The journaling CEO. Top performers often journal daily, using reflection to track progress. Clarify thinking and align with their goals. The mindful athlete. Athletes visualize their performance, identify mistakes, and use mental rehearsal to prepare for future challenges. The grateful parent. Parents can build reflection into their bedtime routines, sharing gratitude and lessons with their kids to end the day on a mindful note. The bottom line. The daily review isn't about obsessing over the past, it's about learning from it. It's how we integrate wisdom, build self-awareness, and stay aligned with our values. As Epictetus said, the only constant in life is change. By embracing change and making space for reflection, we grow stronger, steadier, and more intentional day by day. Lesson 3. The truth about money. It's not what you think. Let's have a real talk about money. Not about budgeting or investing, though those matter too, but about the deeper role money plays in our lives and how we can redefine our relationship with it. The golden handcuffs. In our culture, money is often seen as the ultimate prize. More money means more freedom, success, and happiness, or so we're told. But is that really true? As Epictetus said, Wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants. It's not about how much you have. It's about how little you truly need to feel free. The hedonic treadmill. Ever notice how no matter how much you earn, it never quite feels like enough? That's the hedonic treadmill. We quickly adapt to new levels of comfort, then start chasing the next upgrade. A raise gives us a high, but it fades fast. Soon, we want more. And more. So it's the money trap. The chase for money can become a trap. We sacrifice time, health, relationships, even our integrity, all in pursuit of a bigger paycheck. But as Seneca warned, it is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more, who is poor. So how do we break free? Redefine wealth. True wealth includes more than money. It's about health, relationships, meaningful work, and peace of mind. Practice gratitude. Focus on what you already have. Try writing down 3 things you're grateful for each day. It's a mindset shift that changes everything. Spend with intention. Don't just spend for pleasure. Spend on things that align with your values, experiences, growth, and long-term well-being. Give back. Generosity connects us. Whether it's time, money, or support, giving creates meaning that money alone can't buy. Real-world examples. The minimalist millionaire. Some of the most successful people live simply, focusing on relationships and purpose, not materialism. The charitable billionaire. Think of Bill Gates or Warren Buffett pledging to give most of their wealth to causes that matter. The happy camper. Studies show that beyond a certain point, more income doesn't mean more happiness. Those who prioritize meaning, connection, and self-growth report greater life satisfaction. The bottom line. Money is a tool, not a master. Used well, it can support your freedom and impact. Used blindly, it can trap you in a cycle of endless desire. As Henry David Thoreau said, wealth is the ability to fully experience life. Lesson 4. Push for deep understanding. Dive deeper than a scuba instructor. Let's move past the surface and talk about something that's rare in today's world. True understanding. Not just knowing what, but understanding why and how. Not just reacting to headlines or social media, but thinking critically, connecting the dots, and cultivating wisdom. The shallow end. We live in an age of information overload. Tweets, memes, sound bites, so much input, so little depth, but how much of it actually sticks? How much do we truly understand? As Socrates famously said, I know that I know nothing. But that wasn't the end of the thought. It was the start of a life spent asking questions, seeking truth, and challenging assumptions. The deep dive. Deep understanding means going beyond surface-level facts. It means asking better questions, seeking multiple perspectives, and sitting with complexity. Why go deeper? Critical thinking. You learn to analyze, question, and evaluate, not just absorb. This protects you from misinformation and sharpens your decision-making. Empathy and compassion. When you understand others more deeply, you build bridges, not walls. You see their humanity, not just their behavior. Creativity and innovation. Deeper understanding often leads to breakthrough ideas. As Richard Feynman said, the first principle is that you must not fool yourself, and you are the easiest person to fool. Real-world applications. The investigative journalist. They don't just report, they dig, question, and uncover truth. The compassionate leader. Great leaders listen deeply. understand people's needs, and lead with empathy. Stoicism, the lifelong learner. Curious people don't settle for surface knowledge. They explore, study, and seek real insight. The bottom line. In a world addicted to speed and distraction, depth is a superpower. Push yourself to understand more deeply, and you'll become more thoughtful, more empathetic, and more capable of creating real change. Lesson 5. Push for deep understanding. Subtitle: Use your mental scuba gear. In a noisy world of surface-level opinions and fast takes, there are a few people who go deeper. The investigative journalist digs beyond headlines to uncover hidden truths. Not just to chase stories, but to hold the powerful accountable and inform the public. The scientist doesn't just accept what exists, they experiment, collect data, and challenge the status quo, all in pursuit of deeper truths that can transform our lives. And the lifelong learner, they're never satisfied with the superficial. They read widely, attend lectures, engage in dialogue, and question their own assumptions to expand their thinking and evolve as individuals. This is the path of deep understanding, and it's open to anyone. You don't have to be a scholar. What you need is a mindset, curiosity, patience, and the courage to challenge your own thinking. So how do we train for this? How do we go from shallow to deep? Think of it as putting on mental scuba gear. Ask questions, even simple or obvious ones. Curiosity is the gateway to depth. Every great insight begins with a sincere question. Challenge assumptions. Don't just accept the world as it's presented. Question your information sources, your culture, and your own inherited beliefs. Ask, is this really true? And what's beneath this idea? Seek diverse perspectives. Growth rarely comes from echo chambers. Read widely. Talk to people with different experiences. And listen, really listen. Be open to changing your mind. Connect the dots. Isolated facts are just noise. Real understanding emerges when you start to see patterns, relationships, and causes that weave things together. Be patient. Deep understanding takes time. It's not just about collecting knowledge, it's about letting that knowledge settle. Conflict, evolve, and finally, transform into something real and intuitive. The bottom line? This kind of learning isn't reserved for academics. It's essential for living wisely. In a world full of noise, depth is a superpower. As Aristotle said, the ultimate value of life depends upon awareness and the power of contemplation, not mere survival. So dive deep, be deliberate, and never stop asking why. Lesson 6. The Only Prize. Subtitle: Forget the podium, embrace the journey. Let's talk about winning. Not the kind with confetti and trophies, but the deeper, quieter kind. The kind of winning that looks like fulfillment, the purpose, and personal growth. See, we live in a culture obsessed with comparison. We're constantly measuring ourselves against others. Chasing promotions, praise, likes, money, whatever version of success is trending. It's all about proving something, achieving something, showing something. But here's the truth. External validation is fleeting. It's a sugar rush. You hit the milestone, and then what? You're empty again. Chasing the next hit, that cycle leads not to happiness, but burnout and anxiety, as Epictetus put it. Wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants. True wealth and true winning is internal. So what's the alternative? It's intrinsic motivation. Doing what you do because it matters to you, because it aligns with your values, because it makes you come alive. As psychologist Mihaly Csikszentmihalyi said, the best moments in life are not the relaxing ones. They come when your body or mind is stretched to its limits, in a voluntary effort to accomplish something meaningful. So how do you shift from outer applause to inner purpose? Define your values. What really matters to you? What do you stand for? Get clear. Write it down. Let it guide your choices. Set meaningful goals. Don't chase what others expect. Set goals that reflect your values and ignite your passion. Make them real, personal, and challenging. Embrace the journey. Don't wait for some distant finish line to enjoy your life. Celebrate small wins. Learn from your mistakes. Savor the process. As the saying goes, life is a journey, not a destination. And find your flow. Flow is that state where you're so immersed in something meaningful that time disappears. It's where challenge meets skill. Whether you're painting, writing, solving problems, or helping others find the work that absorbs you and pursue it. Let's look at this in the real world. The artist who paints not for money, but for the love of creation. The scientist who chases truth, not status. The volunteer who serves others without expecting anything in return. That's real winning. The only prize worth chasing is a life true to your values. As Confucius said, the superior man understands what is right. The inferior man understands what will sell. So forget the podium. Forget the applause. Live with purpose. Let your journey be the reward. The power of a mantra. Your pocket-sized powerhouse for inner clarity. Let's talk about mantras. No, not just chanting in a yoga studio, though, if that's your thing. More power to you. What we're really talking about is the power of words, specifically. The kind you carry with you. The kind you repeat not just with your voice, but with your mind and with your heart. A personal mantra, a secret weapon, a quiet companion that helps you face life's chaos with calm, clarity, and courage. So what is a mantra? Traditionally, a mantra is a word, phrase, or sound repeated during meditation to aid concentration. But its true power goes beyond tradition. A mantra is an affirmation, a compass, a reminder of your strength, your focus, your purpose. It's a pep talk you give yourself when no one else is around, a tool for rewiring negative self-talk into calm assurance and self-belief. Ancient roots. Timeless power. Mantras go back thousands of years. In Hindu and Buddhist traditions, they were sacred tools for spiritual growth and transformation. But even outside of religion, the core truth remains. Words shape thought, and thought shapes reality. As the Buddha once said, all that we are is the result of what we have thought. The mind is everything. What we think, we become. So how does a mantra work? It sharpens your focus. Repeating a mantra calms the mind. It cuts through the noise, resets your attention, and reminds you of what truly matters. It reprograms belief. The more you affirm something, the more your subconscious listens. Over time, your thoughts begin to align with your words and your actions. Follow. It regulates emotion. In moments of stress or self-doubt, a mantra becomes a lifeline. A single phrase repeated can slow your breath, ease anxiety, and bring you back to your center. It inspires action. Your mantra reminds you of your values, your strength, your vision. It helps you push through setbacks, refocus your energy, and keep moving forward. Mantras in real life. The athlete's mantra. Before the race. During the reps. In the quiet moments of self-doubt. I am strong. I've got this. One more. The entrepreneur's mantra. In times of risk or failure, mantras become shields. I'm building something meaningful. This matters. Stay the course. The everyday hero's mantra. For the rest of us navigating daily life, facing invisible battles, our mantra might be, I am enough. I am grounded. I choose peace. Creating your own mantra. Make it personal. Choose a phrase that hits home, a quote, a line from a song, a sentence you'd want your future self to whisper back to you. Keep it short. A mantra is a pocket-sized message. It should be easy to repeat and remember. Use it daily. Repeat it during your morning routine. Whisper it while walking. Hold it close when your mind starts to spiral. The more you use it, the more it shapes you. The bottom line, a mantra is more than just words. It's a tool for mental training, a habit of thought that turns into a habit of action. When chosen with care and repeated with intention, a mantra becomes a part of you, guiding your mindset, shaping your resilience, and reconnecting you to your strength. As Lao Tzu said, watch your thoughts. They become words. Watch your words. They become actions. Watch your actions. They become habits. Watch your habits. They become your character. Watch your character. It becomes your destiny. So choose your words well. Speak them often, and let them shape you from the inside out. Lesson 7. Watch the wise. Your shortcut to wisdom isn't to figure everything out on your own. It's to learn from those who've already walked the path. Throughout history, the wisest people weren't just thinkers, they were observers. No. They watched. They listened. They studied the actions and mistakes of others. And we can do the same. Instead of struggling through life blindly, we can pause and ask, and who has already done this? Who has faced what I'm facing? Who has found peace, clarity, and meaning, and how did they get there? Maybe it's a philosopher like Marcus Aurelius. Maybe it's a parent who endured loss with grace. Maybe it's a teacher, an author, or a friend who lives with quiet integrity. The point isn't to worship them. It's to watch them. How do they speak when things go wrong? What do they not react to? What values show up in their choices? By watching the wise, by paying close attention to their inner strength and the way they live, we gain shortcuts to insight. We start to see what really matters. We stop wasting time on petty things. As Confucius once said, by 3 methods we may learn wisdom. First, by reflection, which is noblest. Second, by imitation, which is easiest. And third, by experience, which is the bitterest. So reflect, yes. Learn from your own journey. But don't ignore the living books all around you. Watch the wise and you'll begin to see more clearly how to live. Lesson 8. Keep it simple. In a world that constantly screams for more stuff, more noise, more options, the Stoic finds freedom in simplicity. Simplicity isn't laziness. It's clarity. It's the art of removing what doesn't matter so you can focus on what does. And the truth is, complexity often clouds our lives, not because life is complicated, but because we overcomplicate it. We overthink. We overplan. We clutter our minds with decisions that don't matter. But the wise understand this. Peace comes not from adding more, but from letting go. Seneca once wrote, "It is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more, that is poor." Simplicity begins in the mind. It shows up in small, daily choices, turning off notifications. Silence, saying no to commitments that drain you, owning fewer things, but using them with care, eating clean, sleeping well, spending time with people you love. The goal is not a perfect, empty life. The goal is a meaningful life, one where your energy goes where it matters most. Because when your environment is simple, your mind is clearer. When your schedule is simple, your spirit feels lighter. And when your intentions are simple, your life becomes powerful. So keep it simple. Strip away the noise and make space for what really counts. Watch the wise. Lesson 9. Keep it simple. All right, folks. Grab your mental notepads because we're about to unpack some timeless wisdom that doesn't come from textbooks or dry lectures. We're diving into the kind of learning that transforms lives, the wisdom of those who have already walked the path before us. The wise, the grounded, the ones who mastered the art of living. Think about the OG mentors: Socrates, Epictetus, Plato, Aristotle. These weren't just thinkers, they were observers and doers. They lived through life's complexity and carved clarity from chaos. And they didn't keep that wisdom to themselves. They passed it down through their words, their lives, and their legacies. As Seneca once said, associate with those who will make you better. Welcome those you can help, for men learn while they teach. So why should we watch the wise, one accelerated growth? Why reinvent the wheel when others have already smoothed the road? When we observe the wise, we tap into a shortcut to deeper understanding. We can sidestep avoidable mistakes and fast-track our own evolution. 2. Expanded perspective. Every one of us has blind spots. By learning from others, we gain access to perspectives beyond our own filters. We get to challenge our assumptions and upgrade our mental software. 3. Inspiration and motivation. Watching others overcome adversity or live with integrity lights a fire within us. It reminds us what's possible and that greatness isn't out of reach. Real-world wisdom in action. The mentored entrepreneur. Many successful founders have mentors who guided them through uncertainty and setbacks. They didn't go it alone, they leaned on the wisdom of those who've been through it. The inspired artist. Artists often study the greats. They analyze technique, emotion, intention, and in doing so, they find their own voice through the echoes of those who came before. The everyday role model. You don't need to be a philosopher or a billionaire to share wisdom. Sometimes, the most profound life lessons come from a teacher, a friend, or even a quiet, consistent colleague. How to watch the wise without just copying. 1. Identify your role models. Who do you admire, not just for what they have, but for how they live? List them. Observe how they think, how they act, how they carry themselves under pressure. Observe and learn intentionally. Read their books. Listen to their interviews. Study their habits, routines, and values. Ask yourself, what can I apply here? Seek out mentorship. If you can, talk to someone you admire. Whether it's a formal mentorship or a single honest conversation, wisdom flows both ways. Reflect and apply. Don't just consume content. Let it transform you. Test what you've learned. Adapt it. Make it your own. By 3 methods may we learn wisdom. Confucius said, first, by reflection, which is noblest. Second, by imitation, which is easiest. And third, by experience, which is the bitterest. Keep it simple. Let's shift gears now, because this next piece of wisdom might just be the antidote to modern madness. We live in an age of overwhelm. Too many choices, too much information, and way too many open tabs physically and mentally. We chase productivity and end up with cluttered calendars, overstuffed homes, and overworked minds. As Socrates warned, beware the barrenness of a busy life. Busyness doesn't equal meaning. In fact, it often crowds out what actually matters, the zen of simplicity. Simplicity isn't about living in a cave or tossing all your stuff. It's about intention. It's about removing the excess so you can focus on what truly matters. As Joshua Becker put it, simplicity is the intentional promotion of the things we most value, and the removal of anything that distracts us from them. So how do we get there? Declutter your space. Start with your physical environment. Clear out what you don't use, need, or love. Outer order leads to inner calm. Simplify your schedule. Look at your commitments. Are you saying yes too much? Start saying no more often. If it's not a hell yes, it's a no. 3. Streamline your digital life. Your screen can be as cluttered as your closet. Unfollow accounts that don't add value. Cut down on notifications. Use tech intentionally. Focus on the essentials. What are your true priorities? Your health, set, your relationships, your purpose. List them. Commit to them. Let them guide your time and energy. As Marcus Aurelius reminded us, very little is needed to make a happy life. It is all within yourself. Real life simplicity. The capsule wardrobe. A handful of well-chosen clothes can save you time, money, and decision fatigue. The weekly meal plan. Plan ahead. Eat better. Stress less. The tech-free weekend. Unplug. Reconnect with yourself, your loved ones, and the present moment. The final word. Simplifying life isn't about sacrifice, it's about freedom. The freedom to choose what matters and let go of the rest. St. Consilum. Eliot wrote, "Where is the wisdom we have lost in knowledge? Where is the knowledge we have lost in information?" By simplifying, we rediscover what's meaningful. We reclaim our peace, our clarity, our wonder. Stoic fam. We've covered a lot: morning rituals, mental models, minimalist living, the wisdom of ancient mentors. But remember, philosophy isn't passive. It's not just something you read, it's something you do. As Epictetus said, first say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do. So ask yourself, what kind of life are you building? What kind of person are you becoming? Pick one principle. Just one. A stoic morning, a clutter-free room, a mantra that grounds you. Start there. Practice it, and watch how things begin to shift. This journey isn't about being perfect. It's about being intentional. One choice at a time, one habit, one mindset, every day. A little closer to the person you were meant to be. Now go out there, live your philosophy, and remember, we're on this path together.